New administration coming in. What do they think about? It's always about policy, what's going to happen the first 100 days, their team selection. There's going to be strategies. Who's on the team, who's not on the team, what's important to the people. They need to implement that their game plan within 100 days. So I started thinking, you know what? I'm in the merger and acquisition business. And I started thinking about not only the buyers and the sellers of their first 100 days. So the first 100 days is very hard, not only for the buyer, the seller, the employees, because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen not only to them, their families. Am I going to get laid off? Am I going to get cut in pay? What's going to happen? It's scary. So that's why you have to have a plan. You have to prepare yourself. And if you want to remain at this environment, that's up to you. I started thinking about the 100 days of a transaction of the people. What should the people start thinking about after their current employer either sells or buys? What's that happening? So you know what I did? I started calling people that I know that have gone through a transaction in the last 12 months. That's right. And I asked them just a couple basic questions. Is a transaction for you better, worse, or about the same? And it was very interesting what came back. What came back basically was I'm having some injury issues. The former owners did not take care of us at all. And the conditions have changed. 10% of the people might have left due to retirement, age, change, disruption, whatever that is. However, the business is growing. It's growing. So there was a little confusion, and we're talking about production people, okay, that physically is demanding, because I'm in the printing world, printing operations, fulfillment work, things like that. And now the new owners are private equity, and they're usually out of state. And then a new president comes in, a new executive team comes in. So there's a lot of change. You know, if it was a family culture, like most of these are family culture. But in this case, I just want to talk about this one particular operation that just sold in 2023. And I've had an affiliation with the seller for over 20 years. So I knew the family. I knew the employees. They were clients of mine and so on. And it's actually kind of sad, you know. And I keep saying that I've been fortunate because I've been usually not only an employee going through a transition, okay, I've also been an employer going through multiple transitions because of ownership. And it always comes back to integrity. What do you remember about these situations? I heard something such as, I lost respect for the former owner because whatever. But you know what? At the end of the day, it always comes back to the same thing. You need to take care of yourself. And I feel for the hardworking person because I've been a blue-collar worker. So I have sensitivity. And now, after COVID, the service people, how hard they work, and the lack of appreciation for a lot of these people. When you're in business and you're an owner, it's really hard to basically satisfy everybody. And when you leave an organization, you know, a thank you means something to people. A simple thank you. Most people would appreciate a gift of something. You know, it could be financially. In my case, I remember leaving my first business that I sold. After I left the attorney's office, I went back to my own organization because I couldn't really discuss the terms and conditions and so on. And I said goodbye to everybody. You're talking about 100 employees at that time, 150 employees. And I would hug them and cry because I've known these people for, 30 years. Take care of people. Appreciate people. The gratitude, the appreciation. Try to do the best you can when you say thank you. And part of my thank yous and appreciation is I've kept in contact with these people. I've been in business for 50 years. I'm still in contact with many of the people that I've had discussions with over the years. We call those nonprofit relationships. Most of these people are older than I am. Many of them have passed. I'm in the third, fourth generation of talking to people, going up and down, transitions, buying, selling, health issues. There's a lot going on. Always have a plan. So I look at it this way. You got to be proactive. You got to make things happen. If you're contemplating a next move, you better start thinking about it. And you could also say, it'll never happen to me, or I'm going to retire on my own terms, or, hey, as I say, only God knows. You can do all the planning you want, but you know what? You will find that purpose, and that purpose is there. So start thinking about it. Especially in my world, which is packaging, printing, labels, and so on, there's a lot of consolidation going on. And it's a hot area for growth. However, it's the people that make things happen. And there's a reason why a buyer is buying a business. It's either to grow it, dismantle it, or liquidate it. It's always the people that have the money to decide what they're going to do with that business. Now the seller, they're going to have to plan. What's next for me? What's going to happen? And it may even be death, and then your family sells the business. I've seen that too. So there's a lot going on, and I just wanted to kind of go on YouTube and just say, hey, listen, prepare yourself for the first 100 days. Your first 100 days, no matter what. United States, they're trying to figure out the first 100 days. And what they do is they have a plan, and they stay the course. And they got to have the right team to implement and execute that. Well, you got to do the same thing. So pray to God you pick the right team, you have the right people, you have the health to get to the finish line, whatever that is. But take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Always bring joy. I'll talk to you later.